Everybody, you want to drink what we're drinking today on the show? We're going to show you right now how to call the Megazord.
Megazord.
Do it.
So we're going one shot vodka. In each glass. Just realized I'm making 2 drinks this time. We got our white peach light margarita, color pink, color the Pink Ranger.
Pink Ranger. Genius.
Yep. This is taking a lot longer to pour than I thought. And one of our favorite go-tos, the blue Curacao.
It is now.
Or the Blue Ranger in this case.
Blue Ranger, bam. Looking good already.
Yeah. Good guy turned, or bad guy turned good.
Right?
A little bit of a...
Oh, that actually looks really good. Got some of the Green Ranger in there.
Corn, yep. Yeah. They were bringing in some sweet and sour for our Trini, rest in peace.
Amen.
And then top it off with our leader, the Red Ranger. And now it's the color of the Black Ranger.
So everybody's covered.
A little bit of a mix.
A little stir.
And you call the Megazord.
Moment of truth.
Not bad.
It's not bad.
Not bad. I'll drink it.
It's good.
There you go. And that is how you make the Megazord.
Bam. Let's get to drinking. Let's get to the show.
This is Geek Off The Street, your go-to channel for all things from obscure geekdom to modern-day pop culture and everything else in between.
What's up, everybody?
Greetings and salutations.
It's morphin' time.
Go power Trent. I just made that up. Could you tell?
I could tell. You've been planning that for weeks.
Yeah, you can tell.
The reason why I'm trying to morph and failed at it.
Hey, you did, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Is because this week we're talking about the brand new Netflix special.
Yes, it was only like 55 minutes long, but it was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always.
Once and Always, yeah.
Beautiful.
A brand new entry in the Power Rangers universe.
Brought back some of the old cast.
Yeah, featuring some of the old original cast. So, we did that.
Yes,
we covered that,
watched it.
and it was a thing.
Yes, it was a blast from everybody's childhood.
Yeah, exactly. I got my centerpieces here, courtesy of my lovely girlfriend.
Yeah.
Let's borrow her Red Ranger pop and her, and she got us this Mastodon.
Right. It's
also, this is her shirt. So I didn't know she had it, and I'm wearing it now. So
it's also wearing. I can say that. Nice.
But yeah. So before we get into that, though, what are we drinking this week?
What are we drinking this week? Well, you can kind of see, and hopefully you will have seen the segment that we did. Where we show you how
we made this drink.
How we made the drink.
Yeah, but we made what we have decided to call
the
Megazord.
Megazord, right?
Yeah. It's just a mixture of all different colors.
It's got all colors.
It's all the colors of the Power Rangers.
That was the criteria.
Mixed in one glass. And it's
It's got vodka. It's got some margarita mix. It's got Midori. It's got Curacao.
Yeah.
And some Red Bull.
Yeah. Some red watermelon Red Bull.
What are you talking about?
So,
we got you covered.
I'm all here. So yeah.
It's not bad.
It's tangy.
It's not bad.
I bet if we were to put different measurements of different things, maybe a little more, like you're saying with the sour, maybe we didn't do it. But gets the job done.
Not bad at all.
And we were enjoying these drinks in our exclusive GOTS glasses.
Amen to that.
Shout out to my cousin Kenji.
Right. Love you,
saw
man.
last week.
Awesome.
Sent these to us as a gift. So yeah, we're excited to get these going. Put some hours into this. But yeah, how are we doing this week? Bit of a sad week for me.
Uh-oh.
For those of you guys that don't know, I've been doing a vlog for the past year. Every Friday, I decided to end the vlog with my last episode for hitting 1 year. So I did 52 weeks of this vlog. Every Friday it came out for a year, and it was kind of a way for me to do some YouTube stuff, but also practice some filmmaking, storytelling, that kind of thing. And I decided to call it quits because I just, it's all in the episode. You guys can see it. But yeah, so it was a little bit of a bittersweet thing because it was a lot of fun doing it, but yeah, I don't know.
I'll say maybe it's more of a hiatus. Maybe you'll go back to it.
Maybe, maybe. I know
you got a lot of stuff on your plate. We got a lot of stuff coming up.
Yeah, we do. Exactly.
We do,
so I think it's all for good reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that happened. Also, it was baking hot at work. So I do not like that.
Right. Yeah. Amen. Yeah, it's been a little warm out here in SoCal.
Right, yeah. I was hoping we were going to get a little bit of a break because we had a colder winter.
Yeah.
Nope.
Not so much. I was hoping the same thing.
Yeah.
Not so much.
But how was your week, Mark?
Week was pretty basic. It was just worked. My friend had a birthday. Went and bought her some of these fancy donuts for her birthday. So it was.
Where'd you get those from?
A place called Painted Dough in
fancy.
Chino. It sounds very fancy.
Sounds fancy.
It sounds fancy. So yeah, it's cool. They have like their donuts. They have like a maple bar with a strip of bacon on it.
Nice.
They got one, some Star Wars themed ones where they have like little Darth Vader, little C-3PO, little toys on them. So it's little things like that. And they got like churro flavored and all this, different kind of flavors and all that kind of stuff. So they look great. They look very cool.
How do they taste?
They tasted pretty good. They tasted good. I think it was like a regular donut with a lot of fancy stuff on top.
Okay, gotcha.
So, I mean, the fancy stuff is cool. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. More of an experience kind of thing.
I would say so. Yeah. But if you're out in Chino, check them out.
Nice.
I think they were doing well. So when I got there, they get in line. So, but that was about it. So happy birthday to Mo. It's actually your birthday today. Monique, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
It's birthday today.
Yeah.
So that was about it. Just a work week. Just a basic work week, man.
Very nice. Okay. Let's do some shout outs then, huh?
Let's do a shout out or two.
I have a couple of shout outs. We've been getting some a spike of followers here on Instagram, if I can have it load, which I've never learned to do. But yes, we have a shout out from
I defeated the Megazord.
What? Are you even enjoying them?
Yeah.
But yeah. So shout outs to I'm getting thirsty here. Shout outs to HRI 4573.
Awesome.
Thank you for the follow.
Mm-hmm.
Not Aaliyah.com because he should have started new Instagram. Yeah. Thank you, Mandalorian_Tom. He's a Mandalorian cosplayer and his gear's pretty cool.
That sounds awesome.
And then shout out to where'd he go? All right, it's like cut it off, but I know we had more. We had much more. What?
That's cool. Well, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Definitely. No matter what.
And CJ's buddy on the show.
Ian?
Ian followed us as well.
Nice.
I saw that, and it's not shown anymore. But yeah, he also followed us. So thanks, Ian. Thanks for checking us out. Appreciate you, man.
Right on.
Otherwise, that's it for now, huh?
Yeah, that's it. I want to give a quick shout out to Ian's friend CJ. We were just talking about him.
Oh yeah.
So a quick shout out to CJ. He gave me a little bit of a heads up on some upcoming gaming stuff.
Oh, did he?
So we'll mention it. Yeah, maybe a little bit later in the show once we get to what we're into. But it sounded pretty interesting. So
awesome.
Stay tuned for that. If you're a gamer,
yeah,
might be something actually very, very interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. That sounds awesome.
That's that though.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
Get into this freaking show. But first, make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow. We're everywhere. Videos are every day now at this point.
Yeah.
Full-length episodes on Wednesday and full-length audio on Spotify, Apple, everywhere. Check it out. Leave comments. Rate us, please, if you can. And tell your friends about it.
Right, yeah. We like the comments. We like the likes, but not going to beg you.
Yeah.
You know what to do.
Yeah,
you know what to
do. I mean, I really don't like my job, so... Yeah, I'm getting closer and closer to just fully selling out. Just like with my job. But yeah, we'll get there though. We'll see.
Ready to sell your soul.
But yeah, let's get into this freaking I don't even call it a movie, it's like a special.
Yeah, it is more like a special. It only lasted 55 minutes. They didn't get the whole cast or the original cast.
They couldn't,
Yeah,
they couldn't
I mean, for some obvious reasons, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, obviously Yellow Ranger, she passed away in a car accident, I think, a long time ago, like near when she left the show.
Yeah.
And then some of the other cast members just didn't really want to come back. Coming back. So it's kind of a...
And then I think the Green Ranger, I think by the time this was already finished filming... I guess he didn't want to come back for it either.
He also didn't want to come back either. Which was kind of strange because he has been the longest running one showing up in the series.
Yeah, in the different
series for the longest time. Yeah, so it was kind of weird for him to decide he didn't want to come back. But I'd understand if he knew what it was going to be about and how it was going to go. So but
maybe he just wanted to move on. Maybe he was Maybe that's what the deal was with all of them, the Pink Ranger included. Yeah. Maybe they just
said they're done. Yeah, they moved on so far past it. Yeah. Unfortunately, Jason Lee did pass away as well, which was kind of sad. So, but yeah, it was directed by Charlie Haskell, who has a lot of credits in the Power Ranger universe. Forgive me, I stopped watching Power Rangers after the first.
Oh, after the
Power
original,
Rangers, the original.
How old were you when the?
When it came out, I guess it started in '92.
1993, something like that. Yeah.
So I was 3 years old when it came out, so I wasn't really watching it then.
Oh, I see.
I imagine I was watching when I was 6 or 7, like got it. 5, 6. So I do remember the Power Rangers a lot. Now I know I didn't really. It wasn't my thing. Like Power Rangers never really my thing, but like I do recall enjoying it and enjoying the first 2 movies.
Oh, okay.
The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie and Power Rangers Turbo, I think. Those I remember those 2 movies, even just from then.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I don't really know anything past that, and I think it doesn't really register as something that I was just like really super jazzed about, even when I look back.
Really? Huh? Okay.
Yeah, and I do, but I mean, I enjoyed it as much as any other kid. Yeah. It just wasn't like Superman or Spider-Man for me,
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was a teenager when the series first came out. So I remember watching it, and watching is a strong term, but I remember having a friend came over to the house or whatever, and we kind of just turned it on just to look at it, kind of thing. And I mean, everybody knows, and it's a very campy show. Like even in Japan, even in Japan standards, I think they probably realize it's a campy show. It is a kids show. It is for children.
Yeah.
The show tends to be a little bit more serious. But it's also very comical. In Japan as well. I've seen, just for I don't want to say scientific reasons, but more out of curiosity, I did watch several episodes of the Japanese version.
Oh wow.
The Sentai Rangers is basically Sentai. It's like a task force in Japan, basically.
Oh, gotcha.
Something along those lines is what it stands for, like SWAT team kind of thing.
Yeah, of course they'd make it a like an actual official like a real general like this. Yeah.
It's not going to be something. I mean, it's going to be like we're serious. It's not going to be too. I don't know. They tend to take it a little more seriously. While it is kind of silly and kind of jokey, but it was always something it was always silly to me. And I think I watched it more because I do remember watching several episodes, once you get home from school or whatever. And I remember, again, it was very, very silly. All of it was, but when it came out, it was an instant hit. When the very first episode came out, just like that little episode that didn't have any, it was just right in the middle of the season, essentially. It's just something to kind of get people hooked to see what they think of it. Yeah. And it was a smash hit. Yeah. Like right out of the gate. Like
that makes sense.
All about it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't recall that kind of impact, but I do recall the show. Yeah. And everybody being into it. You know what I mean? So, I get it. Yeah. I for sure get it. But I don't know. I feel like though, it hasn't aged well, and it's very American 90s show, you know what I mean? Like, big time. Like even more, like there are some shows that aged well in the 90s, older shows, but this show is very specific to the 90s and has a very American, I guess, sensibilities. It seems like a lot, and it's just, it's very campy. And it's not, and I don't remember being this bad because I was a kid. Yeah, but I've been watching a lot of them recently, and they're not good. The show is very, very not good. Yeah. So I was like, I can't. I mean, I guess again, I was a kid, so I guess that's why. But man, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it was really just not a very good show.
Yeah. I mean, but the funny thing is, though, even though it is like it's not necessarily, I don't want to say good quality. I mean, it's probably for whatever they can do, they're making the best of it. But the show's been around for a very long time. Yeah. Like even, in America since the 90s, in Japan since the 70s. Yeah. And it's still going.
It's still running,
It's still running. They have different, reiterations of it every season, just about.
Right, yeah.
So, and it's still going. So I imagine it's going to be it's going to keep being brought over here. Yeah. And the funny thing is, it's changed hands in America a couple times too. Like, right, yeah. And I know we've talked about it on the past. like Stan Lee was trying to get the quote unquote Power Rangers over here, like back in I think like the 1980.
Oh, gotcha.
He was trying to get the Power Rangers over here.
Wow.
Because Marvel made several Sentai Ranger. They kind of co-produced like 2 different Sentai Ranger franchises. So there's a bit of a crossover there, which is interesting.
Yeah.
We talked about on the first show, or not on the first show. We talked about on a previous show that Spider-Man. Was brought
like
to
Japan, like a Power Ranger.
A Power Ranger, exactly. A Power Ranger version of Spider-Man. And that whole thing with them, piloting a giant robot, that's where it came from. It came from the American influence. I'm not even sure how that came into it. Like, why did Stan Lee go over there and say, you need a giant robot here? And then all of them have giant robots.
All these shows from that era,
From there on out. And I think Marvel was the first one to produce, I think, like this the whole team concept and the team piloting the robot. There was an interesting amount of Marvel input or a big influence, I should say, in some of the Power Ranger / Sentai Ranger stuff. So it's interesting. But what was some of the stuff you liked about this show? Wow, take a deep breath. Take a swig of the drink.
Man, I'm probably gonna be honest with you and say that I really didn't like anything about the show. Although I mean, it was cool when they morphed, because it wasn't the last reference I have is the 90s, like the 90s show. So I don't know what it looks like now, with these 2018, 2020 versions of these different shows. I'm sure that it looks better. I imagine it looks better. I imagine they're not just using the Japanese footage of the fight scenes still, or
I didn't see any footage of that in here. It looked like it was all American.
Oh no,
stuff.
For that for sure.
Oh, but you're talking about the new shows.
The new shows. I imagine they're not just taking stuff from the Japanese.
Oh yeah, I think they're still doing the exact same thing. They're taking all the action sequences from Japan and then just have American actors.
Oh, they're still doing
for the out of costume stuff.
Interesting.
But they have their special effects are a lot better.
I imagine so.
They're doing the whole CGI thing. They're not having the person in the suit,
which I mean,
all clunky,
which I would have preferred to this one, but anyway, we'll get into that later. But so I don't know what it looks like now, but the very first scene when you see Billy morph, I was like, oh, that looks kind of cool. That's modern, because all I remember them is having that weird cutscene where they're all holding the morphers, and then all of a sudden
the bad electricity and
the bad electricity, and then they're in their suits, So that was cool to see that kind of an update for me, because I haven't seen anything since then. I guess it was nice that we got some of the original cast, like David Yost, and I forgot the guy who plays Zach's name. David Yost.
I think it's Yost.
Yost, YOST. And the guy that played Zach, I forgot his actual name. Especially since they left the show originally because of I guess pay and union issues.
Really?
Yeah. So I guess the Power Rangers wasn't a union show back then. So they were just kind of being dicked around as whatever. And so they were like, okay, well, we want more money to do another season. And they're like, you're out.
Which, so, I mean, I don't know what they were asking for, but it seems like that'd be kind of fair. The show was a smash hit.
Right, yeah. They could have kept going.
So, have those guys. I mean, that's what you're kind of supposed to do.
And I was looking into it like today, actually, or yesterday, and the way that they were like written out of the show was kind of weird. They were never really written out of the show. They were just like, they were showing old footage of them, and then like, it was weird, like old footage that they had from different seasons. So they would kind of show them in there, but not really. And then they dub their voices in over the fight scenes, obviously.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, these 3 new actors were there.
Yeah.
But they're different characters though, and then they were there, and then the other ones just kind of phased out.
Right.
And they're gone. Like
it's
with that explanation.
It's annoying.
Kind of a weird like
Walter Emmanuel Jones.
There you go. So that was kind of cool that they were able to get some of them back, even with that history, couldn't get all of them back, which would have been kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know, and that's probably it. I think.
I hear you. It's interesting too, because whenever I've gone to conventions, they'll have the 2 of them.
Yeah, they're always there. Yeah,
and it's the 2 of them, the Blue and the Black Ranger. Yeah. It's David and Walter. I'm on a first name basis with them.
There you go. Yeah, even back when I first started going to conventions, like 2005.
Yeah.
I remember seeing them both there all the time. Yeah.
Right.
And Dennis like would flip out because he would like he loved the Power Rangers, and he was just like, "Oh, it's a dream come true to see these guys." And I was like, "All right, man."
Is it?
yeah. That's a dream come true. Like,
that's cool. Hey, if that's your dream, Dennis,
yeah. You live it, man. You live it. Yeah.
I'm with you.
But yeah, I do recall that too. Yeah. So maybe the other actors wanted to distance themselves a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Yeah. But.
Well, think about some of the stuff that I liked about it. One of the things I'm asking myself was this needed? Like, did we need to see this? Did this need to be made? I don't think so. In all honesty, unless they're trying to, you gonna steal mine now?
No, I got you. Keep going.
Okay, unless they're trying to, I'm wondering if they're setting this up for another. Maybe they're trying to make another Power Rangers thing,
like comeback, maybe
something,
of some sort.
Which I don't know. It seems weird. I mean, maybe they're going to do the same thing where they're going to take, some of the Japanese footage and splice it together so they can make their own Frankenstein, TV series out here. That's a possibility. Yeah, maybe. Otherwise, I don't know what the point was. Not to be mean. I know what the point of this was. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I know
that they're trying to pass it off as a tribute to
Tui Trang.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, you pronounced that pretty well because I was not going to be able to get that.
I don't even know if I did in all honesty.
Yeah. But
so I mean, and that was
nice.
Yeah.
But
see, I'm that's what I'm thinking about too. Like, is that cool to do, to take her real life death and
use it as I mean. It would have been if it was good. If the movie was good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It didn't really feel like as strong as it could have been.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely added some gravitas to the show. You know what I mean? Because the show has always been, like we were saying, it's always been very kind of lighthearted, very campy.
Yeah.
It's always been, it's like Sesame Street. It's always been this very childlike thing with silly villains, saying and doing silly things and, all that kind of stuff. So this made it, had a little more weight to it. Yeah. Which I appreciate that.
Because none of them ever die, I guess.
Yeah. There's nothing like that.
To have one of them die, like within the actual show.
Yeah. And put it into the show.
That's kind of That's a show some consequences.
Yeah. And then otherwise, I mean, you would have to really make the show, you'd have to take the show in a whole different direction if you're going to do that. Which, again, I don't know, the audience that grew up with it might be willing to go along for that ride. Maybe because they're all older now, so they want to see some more
strong
stuff with some consequences, some reflexes. Some consequences. We're topping off the drinks, everybody.
Yeah, sorry.
Was that strong? Let me take a little too
strong. Mine was really strong.
It's not bad.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, you want ginger beer?
No, I'm good.
You're good? Yeah. Okay. What's it talking about?
I never don't finish my drinks. So.
Yeah. That's how you do it. That's how you
committed,
do it.
Man. But yeah.
So again, as far as the likes and all that are concerned, I do like that. I thought it was interesting. I saw what they were trying to do with the Yellow Ranger's daughter.
Yeah.
Having some issues with the Blue Ranger.
Yeah.
Because her mom, spoilers everybody, her mom, the Yellow Ranger, died protecting the Blue Ranger.
Right, yeah.
So naturally the daughter has some very hurt feelings, which I could appreciate that.
Yeah.
And when she did kind of call him out on it, it was really kind of like, wow, that's a little harsh.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand you're frustrated. And then Zach was just sitting there watching. You're not going to say anything?
Yes,
dude, you're not going to say anything. You were there during the fight. You're just going to
what happens,
Yeah, you're going to let her talk like that. Okay, all right, whatever. But, there wasn't, I wonder, again, what the overall point is. Was somebody trying to get
this going,
the Power Rangers like revitalized or whatever?
I mean, it honestly felt like just the result of trying to cash in on nostalgia again. That's what it felt like to me, and they didn't do it well.
Right? Yeah, that's very true.
It wasn't like Cobra Kai, which got it right. You know what I mean? So Yeah, one of those things. I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, I have no idea why this needed to be made. And when I saw the trailer, I was like, kind of like, oh, okay, this is gonna be maybe a tribute type thing, some closure for the actress that passed.
Tui,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And I was like, and the trailer was actually made like I was like, oh, this actually might be pretty good. And then it just kind of felt like a modern, extended Power Rangers episode.
Right,
it was just as corny, just as campy, and just as like, I don't know, like goofy, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that again, it kind of goes back to there was more weight. This show felt like they're again talking about consequences. Like there were some possible consequences. I didn't think anybody else was going to be dying. You know, I didn't think anybody else. That wasn't going to happen. But it did take it away from this locker room kind of silly thing, because it just felt like one of these things where all the bad guys come together, they hatch a plan, they send some sort of silly monster, and then the good guys come along, hanging out at the juice bar. Putties attack. Yeah, they beat up the putties. Rita's up to something. Monster comes. Monster beats them
up. Gets their hand.
Exactly.
And they figure out how to stop it and come back. And
and the monster dies, goes big. They get the robot.
Shows up. Right. And it's the same sequence.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Every time, every day, all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter what.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the kids loved it every time. So again, this felt like there was a little bit more weight to it.
A little bit more, but it's still just...
It wasn't necessarily like believable.
It was just so like, it was just glossed over. Like, that's a big deal to lose a parent, to lose, I guess, a best friend that you've known for, I guess, at this point, their whole lives.
It really that you've been like on the front lines with.
Yeah.
This is a soldier, so to
yeah,
speak,
exactly.
Right,
and like, for all that to happen, and just for it just kind of be glossed over, like... Like, does anybody mourn? Does anybody feel sad?
Yeah.
Does anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just kind of went to the 1 year, they did the whole
exactly.
thing.
Yeah. And then, I don't know. It just seemed like everyone was kind of fine.
Yeah.
I mean, and then it's just still had the same, after that happened, same tone for the whole, same tone formula through the whole movie. Yeah. So I was I was like kind of disappointed.
Yeah. It really almost felt like some sort of, I don't want to say weird, but it felt kind of like some sort of weird. Like I've always, like somebody said, I've always wanted to do another Power Rangers thing, and they scrounged up a little bit of money. They scrounged up, whoever they could find that was willing to come back. Yeah, and they said, hey, let's try doing this. It really, I don't want to say it felt like some sort of like underground thing or some sort of garage level. thing.
Yeah.
It didn't have a very high production value, I suppose.
It really didn't. Yeah, not at all.
So
yeah, and I mean I don't know. For me, it wasn't a good idea, but they really played into like that nostalgia. Like they're like, let's make this as close as we can to the original show, because that's what the people are gonna be watching are gonna want.
Right,
like just the same campy, but like a little more modern, but still kind of campy. A show, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, man, you had an opportunity to kind of do something different, maybe, and you went exactly in the same route.
Yeah, if you're gonna do the campy stuff is for the kids. So you aim for the kids, you leave it for the kids, and you just basically do what's been working. Yeah, for 20, 30, 40 years. That just keep that formula. If that's what you want to do. If you do want to make it serious, or if you do want to, maybe these original actors want it to come back to Power Rangers, and if you're gonna do that, then you need to up the ante. Yeah. You can't do the same thing and expect the current audience to watch it. It's not, again, comparing it to Cobra Kai, it's not like Cobra Kai where, I don't think, kids and adults are going to be sitting down and watching this together. I think maybe some adults might have watched it just for the whole, okay, that was cute, whatever. But I don't, the kids that's like coming right into the middle of the movie. The kids aren't going to know what's going on, especially if they're watching the whatever current Power Rangers they might be watching, great. But if they're trying to figure out the original stuff, with these original people and who's the Yellow Ranger, or, all this kind of stuff, it's not gonna fly, unfortunately. Yeah,
I mean, you think they would make it to try to target the people that grew up with that, because a kid isn't gonna understand the relevance of the Blue Ranger and the Black Ranger coming back
and bringing back Zordon. And,
exactly. Zordon, the Yellow Ranger, or whatever. Like, they're not going to understand that because they weren't around for that, So I mean, who were they targeting with this, you know?
Right. Yeah. That's a good question too. Who are they targeting?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe they were trying to do both, but it just didn't land.
It didn't land. Right.
Yeah.
Execution.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can think is that they're trying to set it up for a possible
series or
a sequel or maybe they want to see how it goes.
See if they can get this Finding Zordon thing, you know, which is what they hinted at, you know. So I don't know.
I mean, it's not impossible, but you'd have to. I don't know. You couldn't make it as silly as it was before and expect who are you expecting to watch it?
Yeah, exactly. You know? Yeah, exactly. So maybe it's like dads with their young ones.
Yeah, I guess I'm
like, hey, this is what I always watch.
But see, here's the thing, though. In my opinion, I don't know, because I was gonna say, like, I feel like the with the Japanese version, they do have teenagers. It's kind of the same thing. They do have young people do it, but I feel like there might be like some adults in there as well too.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, especially with the newer stuff, but a lot of it it's the whole thing with teenagers.
Yeah.
You know, and again, we've talked about this on the show before. It seems like even with Cobra Kai, like it takes place in high school, but it seems like junior high kids really like it. You know what I mean? You've got whoever your cast is going to be, it's going to be someone somewhere around that age group is going to be watching it. Typically, especially when it comes to kid stuff, it's going to be somebody a little bit younger. Just from what I've noticed, this isn't a fact, but from what I've noticed, like junior high kids are going to want to watch like the high school level stuff.
I see.
You know, kids that are, you know, second, third grade or whatever are going to be a little more interested in the junior high level stuff because they know that's where they're going. That's where they're, you know, kind of segueing into, so to speak.
I see. Yeah.
And again, that's just from my observations.
Okay.
So again, who they're aiming this at, I don't know who their target was supposed to be, you know. And again, if it's the whole member berries thing, I don't know. It wasn't there enough, not enough to care, I suppose.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
You know, and again, I've seen these guys at conventions, you know, and they're very cool. I've never, you know, it wasn't my bag, but I see them interacting with people, signing autographs, doing all this stuff, which is cool. So if they were trying to get something off the ground, I hope it works for them.
Yeah.
You know, I don't wish, you know, failure on anybody.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I find no reason to keep watching it.
Yeah.
So, you know,
at all.
I can't think of any. I mean, those are pretty much the negatives. Did you have any other negatives?
Oh, negatives. Oh, we started negatives already?
Yeah. I feel like we kind of already segued. We went into it.
Yeah, I guess I was already talking about it. They glossed over, you know, the death stuff, and it was I think it was like, I don't know why I chose to. Because I've read some Power Ranger comic books within the last 4 or 5 years, and there's a series called Shattered Dimensions, and it was like really serious, and it was it was really, really well written. It was very good. And then I remember, this might have been 7 or 8 years ago. There was a fan made Power Rangers short film. Actually had Katie Sackhoff in it, playing Kimberly.
Okay.
And James Vanderbeek was in it to play.
Wow, that's interesting.
Playing like the new the Rocky, I guess the name was. Rocky was the second Red Ranger. And it was like post Power Rangers. They've all basically been killed. The bad guys won, so they run the whole world now, kind of thing. And it was like it was really good.
It's some sort of like post-apocalyptic
sort of
kind of thing.
Sort of, but it's like but the Rangers lost basically, and they're all dead except for a couple of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was really well made, and it was really serious, kind of a little more gritty, but it was awesome. Yeah, like, it was really awesome. Like that was the kind of tone that they could have done. Like with this, 30 years later. This is the result of of being a ranger for this long, but it starts off with all 5 of them still together fighting putties.
Yeah.
Like the new one, I was like, are they still like nothing bad happened to you guys in the last 35 years, 40 years? And I don't know. I thought it just there's an opportunity to tell a kind of better story, maybe showing some other other side of the story, because it's not just all fun and games to be a Power Ranger, I imagine. In this short film, I'll send you the link. It's like 14 minutes long or something.
Yeah, okay.
But it's really good though. And then Katie Sackhoff's in it, so it's pretty great.
So there you go.
So already there you go. But I don't know. It was just, I don't know, what the hell was this thing?
Yeah.
It was just kind of like it's just a bummer. Like, it was a real bummer that this was what we got.
Right.
I don't know. Like, you could have done a lot of things with it.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I don't think they want to pull the trigger on making something that serious. Yeah. Which would be completely engrossing. I would think.
Yeah.
I think if I sat down and saw that, I probably would have watched with my mouth wide open the whole time. Like, what?
Right.
What?
Yeah.
That could have been really,
and to have the same actors too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. That could have been.
It could have been really interesting.
Right.
Could have been really interesting.
Yeah. I'll send you this then watch it. Let me know what you think. But it's like when I watched, it's like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, maybe longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was really good, really engaging. But and then they got into a little bit like the Rocky was like he was bitter because he's like because it's like sending teenagers into a war kind of thing. And like we were just teenagers and we're recruited to fight a galactic war. Like what do you think was gonna happen kind of thing. He's like really he's like super bitter and like so it's kind of like it's pretty like seriously like but I don't know, like the girl who played Trini's daughter, I didn't think was a very good actress.
Oh, okay, I hear you.
I was like pretty like I was like I don't believe anything you're saying.
And I don't know what kind of martial arts training she might have had. I mean, she was definitely, she had a great leg extension kind of thing. I don't know if she actually knows martial arts,
I feel like
maybe
she
knows
in general are more flexible.
Yeah.
So
maybe she just knows like, ballet, or she knows how to dance. She just,
she
knows how to stretch kind of thing. I didn't necessarily see a lot of form in there.
Not at all,
Especially when she was trying to do this mantis.
The poses, the mantis poses. And I was like, this isn't really that cool.
You don't got to do that,
this isn't very dynamic. It's very silly.
And see, that's an interesting thing too, because I would imagine it was super convenient to just buy a Japanese show where all the hard work was put into it, aka the martial arts, the fighting, the choreography, the special effects, the explosions, all that stuff was already done. And all you got to do is just bring it over and just talk over it.
You said do some dubbing, and then the scenes in the freaking juice shop.
Yeah, in the juice shop,
and that's
right,
it,
right. And then Bulk and Skull spill something on themselves, right. So
oh man, like Bulk and Skull are in like this like fan made film. And they sell them out, man.
They're actually in it.
Yeah. They're in this fan film like for just this, like a flashback.
Yeah.
They sell out the Power Rangers, man, because they're like oh, we're tired, you guys fucking with us kind of thing.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty intense, man. It's like it's kind of dark, man. I was like, oh, this is pretty fucked up. Yeah.
Wow.
So I'll send it to you, man. Let me
man. Put it in the show notes, man. That's
put it in the show notes too. It's pretty awesome.
See, that's the thing though. Like I as curious as I would be to watch that, I'm wondering if I like really want to see like these kind of, it's almost like watching like Peanuts, watching Charlie Brown and Snoopy and all that kind of stuff. And Charlie Brown goes to war and he comes back and he's psycho. You know what I mean? I don't know if I want to see that.
That's true.
Bulk and Skull selling out the Power Rangers kind of thing.
I see what you're saying. But like, do you even care about the Power Rangers though?
Well, I mean, like I said, it wasn't really my thing. I don't care that much about it, but if it was going to be put out and I was going to watch it, like I said, I don't know if I'd want to see it go that dark.
It's pretty dark, man.
Yeah, it sounds like it is.
Yeah,
it's kind of reminded me of a little bit of two things actually, of the Transformers animated movie that came out in, I want to say 84. I could be wrong, maybe 87. But and everybody knows, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, it doesn't matter. That animated movie that came out back in the day, came out in the 80s. And again, like what the Power Rangers were, is like, bad guys, good guys, they bump heads, the good guys always win. The bad guys, we'll get you next time.
Yeah.
That's what Transformers was in the original animated series. This movie comes out and the Autobots are getting killed. Megatron's like blasting people point blank and like killing them.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, and it's like, what's happening right now? These guys don't die.
Yeah.
And I know you're not a fan of Robot Chicken, but Robot Chicken had a great analogy for it, where they were basically, it was like a game. It was a skirmish game.
Yeah.
And once they went their separate ways, they showed like the Autobots like were in the locker room. They had towels on and they were showering and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was like, it was a basketball game. You guys won. You guys lost.
Yeah.
You go your separate ways. That's kind of what this is. It's just a bunch of silly stuff that's not, there are no consequences to these shows. That's maybe part of the appeal. Maybe that's part of the reason why, for kids especially, because they are
it's a kid's show.
So there are no, the bad guys are always bad. They're always dumb. They're always, kids can trick them, all that kind of, dumb stuff.
I guess. I guess.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
That's the thing. I mean, is that, and that sounds interesting. That does sound really great with some real world consequences. And those are great. That's a great concept. Like we were teenagers in a galactic war. Like what the F?
Yeah.
Why did you recruit us for this? I didn't ask for this.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe it's like a reboot or like a different interpretation of it.
Yeah.
Like maybe not following the original. Maybe that's a little too jarring, I guess. I see what you're saying with the Transformers thing. But like, I don't know. But
adults would probably be interested in watching it.
I think so, yeah.
I feel like people would probably dump on it too. People love dumping on stuff.
Yeah, it'd be like a Man of Steel thing all over again. Too serious, too dark.
Exactly. Too serious, too dark.
That's not what I used to watch in the 50s. Well, the 50s are over, motherfucker. It's just long gone.
Let that go.
Yeah, let that go. Yeah. But yeah, I guess I don't even know what I was really expecting.
Right,
I know the trailer looked like it's going to be a little bit more like thoughtful, and respectful towards the tragedy.
Yeah.
But it was really just kind of glossed over and kind of like exploited a little bit.
That was my thing from the jump. Like, should they be doing something like this? Should they be?
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want to say that they, took advantage. That seems extremely cruel to say. But I don't know. Like, what was the point of it?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like it should have been handled. Like, if they were gonna go that route, like, be a little more sentimental, be a little more respectful to it. Like, don't put it in the form of a goofy, campy.
Yeah.
Because after it happens and Tommy and Billy are in the living room talking about it, I was like,
or Zach and
Zach. Zach and Billy were in their living room talking about it. I was like, you guys don't really seem that bent up about it. You guys seem like everything's like kind of normal.
Right.
Yeah.
They were just kind of having a disagreement.
Conversation. I was like, shouldn't you guys be like, I don't know,
right?
Like mourning. This was sad. Like. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it's like there was no impact for it, The death didn't really seem like it was that big of a deal when she actually died in real life, which is, should be more impactful,
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And there's a lot of things I guess to kind of get into even with that. Like for example, like how close were they, so to speak, when they were making the original Power Rangers?
Oh yeah,
they were just a bunch of actors. They got together for a couple years, maybe 2 or 3 years.
Right, yeah.
And that was the extent of the relationship, I think.
Because I know that she left, so those three, Walter?
The Zach?
Yeah, Zach. The guy who played Zach, the Red Ranger, the guy who played Jason, and then the Yellow Ranger. They all asked for more money. They said no, and they ended up leaving, So all three of them left together. So I don't know if they had more of a connection together for doing that, or I don't know. Taking a stand.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, crossing the picket lines together. I don't know.
Yeah. You have. It's one of the things like you almost have to all do it together, or it's not going to have the impact that you want. If I don't know. I think they did that with Friends too, like the TV show. When they asked for more money, they all asked for more money together.
Oh, gotcha.
As opposed to one person asking and the other one's like, "No, we're okay." Like, well, fine. We'll just get rid of you then.
Yeah, true.
Sometimes that doesn't work out. But,
yeah. It's kind of like any job, I guess.
Yeah, that's the roll of the dice. But
so I don't know. I guess I don't care.
Yeah,
really, I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know how to recommend it. And it's interesting too because Rotten Tomatoes, the score for it, the audience score and the critic score were exactly the same. I mean, it came out recently, but they were both 85%.
Yeah, which is
it's kind of high.
It's
kind of high.
Yeah.
And for both of them to be that high, maybe as time goes, we'll get some different numbers, maybe.
And I've been on a couple message boards, and I've seen some groups and people talking about it. A lot of people seem like they like it. They really enjoy it. People are like, oh, it's brought me back to my childhood. Oh, I made me feel like a kid again. And like, oh, I was crying with the tribute to the Yellow Ranger and Tommy at the very end. And I was like,
at the end, it was just a picture of him.
Yeah,
But
I mean, that was probably that. I was like, oh, that's kind of sad. Like that was like the only time
is. Yeah,
that was the only time I felt anything at all. And that whole thing was like, I was like, oh, that's sad. Seeing a picture of these two that passed. I was like, that is sad.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I was just like, I don't feel anything for this.
Right.
Maybe it's because Power Rangers probably wasn't really that impactful for me when I was a kid.
Yeah. It's interesting. It sounds like you were kind of at the age, like when you started watching Power Rangers, that original cast had already moved on, right?
Yeah,
I think they kind of popped in, like I think the Blue Ranger popped in.
Yeah, and the
like
Blue Ranger was there
series,
a lot. But there's reruns still going on, I think.
Right, yeah.
And I had watched. I was pretty familiar with that original cast.
Okay.
And then I watched like a couple minutes of the movie, the first movie, like last night actually.
Yeah.
I started watching a few minutes of that first Power Rangers movie, and the three new characters were in it. And I was like, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember those actors changing. I don't remember those three changing by that movie. So that I was kind of confused about. And then so I guess now I'm not really sure at what point I picked up, but I know I didn't go much further past those couple seasons. So I think I just wasn't really interested in Power Rangers that much.
Right.
Maybe the whole time.
Yeah. I know I watched some of the first season, and I think I've seen like a few episodes of some of the, subsequent seasons that came afterwards.
Yeah.
But kind of the same way. Like I didn't follow it that religiously. I didn't follow it like. Apparently, there have been a lot of different Power Ranger series, because it's been going on essentially since the 90s. I think there's been a few times where it might have stopped or whatever, and it's changed hands several times. Like Saban had it, then they sold it to Disney,
and then it went Union there, and then like went back.
Yeah, it went back to
Saban,
and now Hasbro owns it.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe Hasbro is trying to say, hey, we wanted to do something.
Keep this thing alive.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I mean there's a lot of merchandising, obviously, with that stuff, and it made a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
it might be one of those things where someone's like, let's throw something against the wall, see if it sticks.
Yeah, see if we can
start making some money off of
keep it
this,
alive. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say stick with the original concept of just buy the series from Japan.
Yeah,
reshoot it with your own whatever.
Yeah,
just
dub the
dialogue,
and
you sell it to the kids.
Yeah,
for the kids. I don't know if you can tap into the adult market, I suppose, with
that. Yeah, because now looking back, that was garbage.
Right. Yeah. It was. Yeah. It was just kind of whatever. I'm really trying to figure out how somebody could feel any kind of way about it, especially when they only had the first just the Black and the Blue Ranger.
Yeah.
And then they had the other ones.
I don't even know those other two.
Yeah,
and apparently that girl was the one who replaced Kimberly on the show. Now I don't even remember that. I don't remember her at all.
Yeah,
and this other guy I don't know at all either.
Yeah, I do remember.
And he definitely didn't look the same in the red.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. They're all bulky.
He was a little bit chunky. The Red Ranger was like way thinner.
Yeah,
and then it was like vice versa for the other character. Like one of them was like. Whoever was in the blue, I don't know. Yeah, it was like one was like skinny and fat, and the other was fat and skinny. It was like completely. I was like, you guys even trying?
Yeah, it trims you up when you or bulks you up. I don't know, whichever you need to do. Yeah. Now, do you know if the Power Rangers were, especially this is the original Power Rangers? I don't think so. My sister was saying like the Red Ranger is supposed to be Native American, or the guy was Native American. I don't think that was the case. Jason, I don't think he was Native American. But the Black Ranger was black. The Yellow Ranger was yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did some sort of public service announcement in the Black, and Zach came out and he said, "Hi, I'm Zach, the Black Ranger." And I was like, what did you just say? And this is like, back in, the early 90s. This is like after the first season came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, what did you just fucking say right now? You just said you're the Black Ranger?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, wait a minute, you are the Black Ranger.
You're the one in the black costume.
Oh, and then the Asian girl's the Yellow Ranger.
Right.
The pink is the pink.
Which, like, that Yellow Ranger was obviously a dude in the Japanese version.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so.
Right.
Yeah. But, yeah. I mean, funny, though, that wasn't the case with the Japanese. I mean, everyone in Japan is...
Everyone in Japan is
Japanese.
Japanese.
So I guess it's like one...
It's funny too because I've seen the like I said, I've seen the original some of the original Japanese shows, and whenever you see like the crowd panicking, like it's funny because it's always like a far off shot, and you see all these black haired people like running away, and I'm like, oh, there's a difference right there. When they do those panic scenes in America, you're seeing everything. just another reason why to love America.
Yeah, I always crack up though, because I've been watching episodes, and like they'll be like they'll be in like a theme park.
Yeah.
And then when it goes to the fight scene, it's not a theme park at all.
Right, yeah.
It's like a freaking forest or something or whatever.
Right.
Like
it's all black-haired people.
It's all black-haired people.
Yeah.
And it's like, this isn't the same place at all. There's
It's
no way. Yeah, it's
right.
not the same place at all. Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed that too when I was watching a TV show that I was watching like back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Called Battle of the Planets. Like you could tell. It's one of those things you could tell that something was off, like. And again, it's kind of the same thing with Power Rangers. It wasn't one of these live action dub things, but you could tell there was something lost in translation. We're missing something. Something's getting we're getting cheated some kind of way here. But I don't want to. We won't go off about that. Yeah. But interesting enough, the audience score and the critic score 85%.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Nostalgia probably is a big factor in it. You get to see the guys that you saw back, when you were a kid, the Black Ranger, the Blue Ranger. What would you give this? What would your percentile be for this?
I guess I'm really not a big Power Rangers fan as I sit here with the Power Rangers t-shirt on.
Right.
I'm not a big Power Rangers fan, I think, in general. I'm thinking back of all the things that I enjoyed as a kid. And, I was like the White Ranger one time for Halloween. I think I had the sword because I was the White Ranger for Halloween. Yeah. And I remember that. But other than that, like, there's no real connection I have to the Power Rangers. I don't think. So nostalgia means nothing to me when it comes to this. Right. So take that away.
Yeah, especially with this cast. I mean, that's not even your cast, right?
Yeah, not really. Yeah, except for the two, the Blue and the Black Ranger.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, because I was watching the original.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah.
But so with that aside, like I don't care about that. So if you take away the nostalgia, this is not a show that I would even ever recommend or watch or anything. So this show is not passing for me. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go 58. 58%. 57%.
Yeah.
There were some things that were that's cool. You tried to do some things. You tried to do some tribute stuff. You tried to do this and that, but there's like nothing good about it. From a like objective standpoint, subjective. Yeah. Either or. I think. I think either or. Yeah, I think either or. Yeah. So I just don't care. I felt nothing at all.
Yeah, I mean, I like the concept. I like the idea of those two guys coming back and trying to get something off the ground again.
Yeah.
And I hope it works. I hope somebody likes it, maybe well enough to bankroll it and people will watch it. I would love for them to be successful.
Because I don't know what these two guys have been doing for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
25 years, give or take. I don't know what they've been doing. Yeah. Right. So if this is like a lifeline for them. Hell yeah! I hope it does really well. I hope it launches a new era. Maybe they're the leaders of this new generation or whatever.
Right,
whatever the case is, maybe they get some opportunities, and that'd be great. That'd be that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Outside of that,
yeah. So for that reason, I think I'm kind of the same way. I don't even know if I want to give it a 60. I don't even know that might be too high. Yeah. I mean. Again, I want it to do well, and if somebody, they're getting those feelings from back, you know what I mean? Those, bring back my youth and that kind of thing. If you can watch and be happy watching it, that's awesome. That's great. I'm happy. I am legitimately happy for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But again, I guess there were some missed opportunities, I suppose. They had a couple of, there were a couple of good moments in and out. Again, I liked when the daughter kind of called out the Blue Ranger, and she did it harshly. This is your fault.
Yeah,
and I feel like there could have been some more follow up with that. There could have been some more going into the fact that they lost somebody they've been fighting alongside for years and years.
Yeah, as short as it is, though, I guess maybe it's hard to. Follow up on some of those.
That's another weird thing too. Like it was only 55 minutes. Like why not make it, like a quote unquote like a feature length thing? Yeah, just go for the whole hour. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if they wrote it and they shot it and they're like, well, this is what we got.
Yeah.
You know,
budget thing maybe because there are conflicting accounts of why the Pink Ranger didn't come back.
Huh.
But people are saying because there wasn't enough money involved. She kind of came out and said, I don't want to be in spandex again. Like I'm older. I don't want to go back to that, kind of thing. But
I mean, she wouldn't be in this. Well, she wouldn't be in the spandex.
No, obviously not.
I mean, there'd be like maybe 1 or 2 parts where, because I think they were both in the suits at one point in time.
Yeah,
a little bit. But otherwise it's going to be somebody else, flipping and shooting a bow and arrow, whatever you did.
Whatever, yeah. Yeah. True. Really, you just be lending your voice for the most part, I imagine.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. It's a little disappointing. Again, like I said, I hope for the best, and I would say again, it goes back to if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So the whole concept is you take that stuff, you re-edit it, you throw in the American actors, and you put it out for the kids, and you let it go from there.
Yeah,
but
anyways. Mark, I gotta say, this was my idea to cover this show. So I apologize for making us both sit through that. Not just for you, but also me, making myself sit through it.
Yeah. Well, in all honesty, I might. Yeah. It might have been a while before I actually watched it, and it would have been one of those things that I would have been like, "Oh, you know what? I should probably check this out. Just I should check it out."
Yeah.
So I'm not mad about it because
I was pretty mad because I was sitting there watching it, and even my girlfriend, she's enjoys.
Like, why are you watching this?
I know, because she enjoys Power Rangers. I think from her childhood, and she has her own, childhood and things that she went through. But Power Rangers was kind of a safe haven for her, I think.
Yeah.
And she recalls that very fondly.
Yeah.
And so she enjoys it. And I'm watching the show. I've been watching the show with her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't believe I sat through any of this when I was a kid. And I'm sitting through it now. But she's like, yeah, but it's Power Rangers. You just gotta accept it for what it is. And she did not like this either.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah, she was like, "This sucks." Like, we were halfway through, and she's like, "I don't think I like this. I think this is not good." And when the way she says things about things, it's kind of like that. Like, she's just very generic.
Yeah.
And she's like, I think this might not be good, kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, I think you might be right. So for her to not enjoy this, especially with having her history with it, it's kind of I think very, very telling. I think.
Yeah, I don't know, and it's tricky too because I think you said something very interesting. Like you said, this was a safe haven for her.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get into that, but that's what I think it is for a lot of people. We're watching this. It's their thing. Again, like you were talking about Superman.
Yeah.
It's that thing where you can sit down, you watch it, the good guys are going to win, the bad guys are going to lose.
Yeah, maybe it's a bit of hope. It's a bit of childhood innocence. It's a bit of all that mixed up.
Right.
And you're expecting to be thrust back into that. It kind of comes down to one of those, that this is getting really deeper now, but it's like trying to recapture that past, recapture that nostalgia and those experiences when you really never can, I think. You cannot, Damn, man, I just put that on a shirt, even though it's probably already been put on a million shirts. But yeah,
I think that is accurate. They were you can't do it. I mean, they're older, they're not kids.
Yeah.
And I mean,
one of them looks older than the other one for sure.
Yeah, right.
But it might be a genetic thing.
I mean, they both aged pretty well considering.
Considering.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but in the trailer though, you could tell did one of them even age that much more? Yeah. But yeah, I'm not trying to say anything. Not trying to start anything.
But yeah, I honestly don't know. If you want to watch it, 100% watch it.
Yeah. If you remember Power Rangers, I mean, if you have a really big soft spot for Power Rangers, or
and if you're somewhere between I don't know what, maybe 40 and 30.
Yeah.
If you're somewhere in between there, Power Rangers were a part of your life.
Yeah.
Don't lie about it. They were.
Yeah.
So I would say watch it. Just maybe you'll connect with it some kind of way.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It's like I said, it's not great. Production value wasn't great. The script
wasn't great.
Wasn't great. A lot of the acting
also wasn't great.
Wasn't great. But it again, it goes back to that whole nostalgia thing. And sometimes it's okay to
just be that.
Yeah, to just be that, to embrace that, to, for lack of a better term, to kind of wallow in that a little bit. Just go in there and, watch. I remember the Black hate saying that. Now that saying that out loud is rough. I remember the Black Ranger. I remember the Blue Ranger. I remember those guys, and it would have been nice to see some of the more other casts in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep that in mind if you decide to watch it. So
that was one more thing, is that I didn't like that they just kind of like shoehorned the rest of them in there in costume,
right?
Like to make it seem like they're all
they
still
never
together.
spoke.
Yeah, they never really spoke, and then they were like they're action figures for the whole time.
Yeah, they got captured.
And then you don't see them at the end because they're like, they had to go to the space station medical bay, so we'll never see them until they're better.
Yeah.
Like, it should have been like they died in the past,
right?
And that's why they're not here.
Yeah. Or just say they've moved on and there have been new Rangers to take their place,
or that.
And they got captured.
Yeah, and then you save them.
Yeah, you save them, give them some lines, have a big, we're all together again. You can't beat us when we're together.
Yeah,
action.
Doesn't matter what generation you are. A Ranger's a Ranger.
Right.
Boom.
That'd be sweet.
That would have tied into that last little picture of both of them. Once a Ranger, always a Ranger. We just wrote the better version of it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We do this on a regular basis.
Yeah, we come up with ideas. Yeah, when we get our production studio going, oops, sorry, shouldn't have said that. But like, when we get things going, whoopsies. When we get that going, I think we're gonna be cranking out. Or we say that, but we're probably crank out the same crap that they're doing.
Now we're gonna be better.
Yeah,
because we've learned.
We've learned from the crap that we've been watching.
Right.
But yeah.
So yeah, check it out if you like.
Yeah.
And again, if you're in that age group, if you grew up with Power Rangers, you should definitely watch it just for your own,
Yeah, and it's not that long, so it's not really a commitment.
It's under an hour. So
so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, you might enjoy some parts of it. You might completely hate it like I did, but
or maybe just be okay with it.
Or just be whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So as always, we say check it out.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
We done with that?
Yes, we are. That's it, man.
So
that's Power Rangers.
What are we into this week, real quick?
Let's see. What are we into? Well, I watched Jim Mulaney.
Oh yeah,
he had a Netflix special that came out. I guess he came back from his rehab tour or whatever. He's in rehab. I didn't watch all of it. I think I fell asleep towards the end of it. I don't know if I was watching it at a bad time, but I do like his stand-up. I think his stand-up is great. It's funny. So I did see that. That was pretty cool. That was interesting. There was something else I saw and I completely forgot. But in the meantime, I saw on Disney, Peter Pan and Wendy.
Oh, did you watch it?
I did watch it.
Is it a movie or a series?
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Okay.
It's a movie.
How is it?
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. It's a movie.
Okay, Ryan George.
Yeah. It's actually, it's one of those things when after I finished watching it, I wanted to, and I didn't because it was kind of late. I wanted to, but I had to keyed up, watch the original Peter Pan, the original animated Peter
one?
Pan.
Okay,
It came out in 1953. And I also wanted to read the book again.
Oh, because the book's very different, right?
The book is very different. Yeah,
as are all these books, right?
Yeah, they typically are. I think I mentioned on the show before too. The book is very different, or maybe we were talking amongst ourselves or whatever after doing an episode.
Yeah,
that it is very different from everything. I've never seen. I don't think I've ever seen a completely accurate version of the Peter Pan story.
I see.
Told.
Yeah.
Just because it does.
Mine is Hook, right?
Mine is Hook always ends up the same way. They they start to bring up some interesting issues in the show. They try to, they kind of, I'm gonna say they retconned it. They kind of retconned a little bit some of their backstories. I shouldn't say unfortunately, but in this situation, unfortunately, they do try to turn it into like a girl power moment kind of thing.
So it's like Wendy's story.
It turns a little bit into Wendy's the hero of the Peter Pan story, which I am 100% for girl empowerment, as I've said numerous times on the show. I don't think that was the right place to do it. Unfortunately, if it's Peter Pan show, don't throw Peter Pan, on the sideline. Don't throw them to the wolves. They kind of thing. Right. And that's kind of what they do. If you want to tell a good Wendy story, just tell a good Wendy story.
Yeah.
And there's room to do it. And there's room to do it without her having to be like some swashbuckler kind of thing. Like we were talking about with Suzume. Again, great female protagonist. She was never someone that, fired a Kamehameha. She never grabbed a sword.
Jumped into a Gundam.
Right. Yeah. She never piloted a Gundam. Activated the Buster Cannon. And did all this kind of stuff. She never did anything like that.
Yeah.
But she was still a great female protagonist, a great character. And they really messed it up. So that might be something we might want to do on a show. Maybe something separately. I don't know. But
I meant to respond to your message about it, but I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I won't take it personally.
Yeah.
But so I did see that.
I ignored it.
I'm going to be honest with you.
I didn't want to watch it.
I ignored it. But let me get into what I was started to hint at earlier. So CJ called me and he said, you guys need to know this kind of thing.
Okay.
There is, and this might turn into something kind of controversial because people always talk about, the reason why the youth are so bad is because of insert X.
Video games, rap music,
rock and roll music,
Dungeons and
Dragons, all this stuff, anime, all this kind of stuff.
Pokemon cards are the devil.
Right.
You know how many times I got that in my Christian school that I went to when I was a kid?
Wow.
Yeah. This is ridiculous.
I'm never going to give her my Charizard, lady, so forget it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same. There's a possible situation like that. And we will have this in the show notes, but there is a trailer that's out for a new video game that's in the works called Unrecord.
Okay.
And the thing about this video game is this may be the most realistic looking video game that I know that I've seen so far, but this may be the most realistic looking video game out there. That's not like some sort of like actual like live action, camera work kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so there is gunplay in it. There's violence in it. There's probably people getting shot and killed. But I think the questions are going to come up. Is this going to be a negative impact on the kids? Is this going to desensitize the kids?
True, yeah.
Is this going to, warp the kids? All the blah, blah, blah about the kids.
Yeah.
So it looks really interesting. That's just going to make it more popular when it comes out if there's a lot of hype around it. But we'll have it. I'll give you the link. We'll have it in the show notes. But it's called Unrecord. There's a trailer out that's right now. You can catch it on YouTube if you want to check it out to see what's going on with this game. Like I said, it looks amazing. It looks realistic. And it's almost like I think it's supposed to be the perspective of a police officer and he's got his body cam footage. So you're looking at it from that angle.
Oh, wow.
So when you're running into a building and you're going into some, abandoned, empty warehouse kind of thing, and it's dark, it looks dark. You got your flashlight. Your flashlight only works a certain way. There's no heads up display kind of thing. There's no red toggles or whatever. It looks real.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's very interesting. So we'll have it in the show notes so you can check it out.
Yeah.
Other than that, watching the same old stuff. One Piece, I'll watch that later.
Nice.
Yeah, but the Peter Pan and Wendy thing that's what really kind of got me today.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Bummer.
I watched it. I think I watched it last night or the night before, but it just came out on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I saw that.
It just came out. So I recommend checking it out. I wish the kid playing Peter Pan, I wish he was better.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was not good.
Oh, wow.
But here's the thing in his defense, and this may not be,
a good defense.
Yeah, it may not be a good defense because maybe he is what he is, bless his heart. But I feel like the focus wasn't on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he is the, like that ancillary character, if he's a secondary character in his story, and the focus is on, the other main character, then maybe they're telling him, just do what you want, because we're focused on this over here. So that's kind of what it's like.
Or I guess do what you can with the little we're giving you.
Yeah, that too.
Maybe his choices maybe didn't. I don't know. Maybe it didn't land.
Didn't resonate. Yeah, it didn't land well.
Yeah, and I was reading an article about there's girls and the Lost Boys now. Is that was the part of it?
Yeah, they did. They did. Yeah, they threw that in there. And this made me think of this too. And I know we we didn't talk about it
Yeah.
for whatever reasons, but I don't give a fuck anymore. So we're going to mention it.
Yeah.
At one point in time, and this would not be admissible in a court of law at all, because this is one of those.
I love that you have to start this sentence with that.
I got to start like, just in case. I don't know. But we were talking at one point in time about the Disney agenda.
Oh,
right. And we knew about this a while ago.
Yeah.
And we said we're not going to talk about it.
Some insider information as well.
Exactly, because there could be consequences. And I'm not trying to be extra dramatic or whatever, but we have a somewhat reliable
source.
And see, I didn't even want to say that because I feel like it could lead back to somebody. But in a nutshell, and you can chime in on this at any point in time too. There was talk about a Disney agenda about they were going to be, and this is just the Hollywood hubris, I would think, that they're trying to push an agenda. And the first step in the agenda is pushing female leads.
Yeah.
All right. So they're going to go hard in the paint with that. Just female. And then down the line, they're going to start pushing more of the transgender or maybe some of the, gay, homosexual, whatever of characters, leads, whatever. And maybe characters are going to be kind of switched around what they weren't before. They'll be this now, which is what you see a lot. So that's going to be that in theory is supposed to be the next thing.
There's like a literal checklist.
Exactly. That's the best way to put it. There's a checklist of all the
things that have to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mentioned, hubris because I feel like on some levels that Hollywood has this feeling that, and I could be wrong, this is just my observation, again, like I said earlier, that they feel like we're the ones that kind of did this. We're the ones that pushed society into kind of being more accepting of different groups, different, nationalities, races, religions, creeds, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And they are. I mean, Hollywood they are always at least a step ahead, if not 2 steps ahead when it comes to that. When people were, when segregation was going on, for example, you had an actor like Sidney Poitier coming out.
Yeah.
And he was being a police officer. He's being respectful. He was standing up to, racist people.
Yeah.
So, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And I feel, and again.
Yeah, but Sidney Poitier wasn't like cast as a gender swapped character in established IP.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. True. Yeah. Very true.
He paved the way in original films.
Playing an original role.
Yeah, in original films that did really well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is gonna be the biggest people still argue this all the time.
Yeah.
Where I'm on the side where it's like, give us new shit.
Yeah.
Like, give us something original and new. Don't piggyback off of an existing IP.
Yeah.
So you can make some money because it's an existing IP while swapping something out. Like I'm 100% against that because I don't want to see that. Give us a good story with a new character. I'm always gonna say that forever. People will be against that. People are against that sentiment. But I don't know. I think it's lazy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I think that's what it boils down to. It's lazy. It's easier, right?
It's lazy, but this is like the safest they could be on their return.
Exactly. Like, they can say, we checked it, we did it.
We checked it off, but also we need a return. Like we're not putting money into diversity for the goodness of our hearts.
Yeah.
We were doing it because this is what is expected of us, but we're not doing it for free.
Right, yeah.
So that's why we got to kind of dabble in. Let's swap some things in Peter Pan and Wendy. Let's do some things in Star Wars. Let's do some things in here and there. And I was in GameStop today because I just bought Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Sorry, last episode I was wrong about when it came out. It came out on the 28th, not on the 20th.
Okay.
So it came out yesterday at the time of this recording.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I went and bought it today at GameStop. And I was looking at some of the figurines they had in there.
Yeah.
And they have a Jessica Drew who is Spider Woman? No.
I think she's
Spider Woman. Jessica Drew, right? Who is a British Caucasian woman like from Britain.
Okay, I know she was British. But okay.
Yeah, she's British, and the Jessica Drew in this action figure is a African American woman, like with African American woman. Yeah. I guess she's gonna be in the Spider-Verse.
In the new the Spider-Verse. I've seen her.
So I saw that. I was like, that's not Jessica Drew. when I saw that today, and I was like, this is kind of a weird thing to change. I feel like, unless she's like an alternate, but because there's a pretty. I don't think it was a huge series, but I read it when Jessica Drew was pregnant. Like, she was pregnant, but still being Spider-Woman at the same time.
Yeah. Because I know she's pregnant. I mean, in this
series, right? Yeah. So they're pulling from that, but
big time, clearly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So I saw that, and I was a little bit like shaken. Like, I was like, that's a little like, I don't know. Did I need to happen?
You're doing it again.
You can tell. Yeah, you're doing it again. You're right. Yeah, you can tell. So I was like, I don't need like. I will use literally in that effing movie. Miles Morales is an original character. Yeah, he's an original character. He's a Spider-Man. Yeah, but he's an original character. He's not Peter Parker. Yeah, that's just black.
That's black. Exactly.
Right. He's not that. Right. Yeah. So like that's different. Those are two different things. One's right and one's lazy. I think. I don't know.
No, that's that's a good way to put it. One's right, one's lazy. So that's that.
That's that.
Yeah. What are you into, man? What are you into?
Well, what am I into this week? I bought Jedi Survivor.
Nice.
On PS5. I'm really excited to play that game.
That's cool. That's your jam.
I should have put it in the PS5 before I left to come here because you know how long it takes to
download
them. Yeah, to download the file onto the game system. So, but I'm excited for that. I finished The League somehow. Like, which I'm just kind of watching in the background. I finished that somehow. And I just started watching like Arrested Development again, just to have something in the background. And that's one of the funniest shows I think ever. Then I started watching Sweet Tooth.
Oh, okay. I started watching Sweet Tooth as well. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
And so second far, season. You started watching the second season? You seen the first season already? Or?
Yeah. I watched it when it came out. Yeah.
So far, I haven't, like, Jeff Lemire is one of my favorite comic book writers, but this is one of the few books I haven't read from him. And so I'm like, I'm gonna watch the series first and then try to go read the book afterwards, so I don't have to have any like preconceived notions about how it's supposed to be. And so far, I'm really enjoying it. Yeah. And I was sad when he almost burned his stuffed dog on the funeral pyre. Like, I was like, this is sad because like loss of innocence for children. That's like the saddest thing I think that can happen. And I was like, this is gonna be a tough show, but it's gonna be good too, though. I think so. So far, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I want to go back and watch it because once I saw it was on, I saw it was in the key or the queue or whatever. I was like, oh crap, Sweet Tooth. So I started watching it, and again, it was like late at night when I saw it. So I think I fell asleep on the first episode, and I woke up on the third kind of thing. So what I want to do is go back to the first season. Okay, because the first season, I feel like there's been a pretty big gap of time in between.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
So I want to watch it and kind of get back into that frame of mind, mode, and then start watching the second season.
I see. But, might have a little more of a.
It'll make more sense because like, when you're watching it after that long of time, when you're like, wait, when did that happen? What are they talking about? So I'd rather just go back and watch it.
I even do it as an excuse. I like Dave season 3. I was an excuse for me to go back and watch season 1 and 2.
So you're glad to do it.
Yeah, just leading to season 3. So so I get it. Not saying that's what you're doing, but but that's basically it though. Nothing else, I think.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, man. So
we did it. Yeah, we made it. We've done the show.
That's Power Rangers.
That's Power Rangers.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah, once and always. Yeah, check it out. Let us know what you guys thought of it. You already know how I thought about it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, is all that nostalgia stuff? Is it legitimate? Is it right? Did it have that kind of impact on you?
Yeah, if it had on you, let us know. Yeah, but for me, I thought this is a bad example of nostalgia of memories. But that's that. So let us know what you guys think. Next week, we are going to be covering
Guardians of the Galaxy
Volume 3 for some reason. Because if it's anything like Guardians Volume 2, I am going to be puking in my chair.
Right. But if it's like Volume 1,
I will be puking a little less. Because I'll always say Volume 1, it was very good. Very enjoyable, very, very balanced, and very different.
Yeah.
Season 2 was a piece of shit. If you like Season 2, you're a piece of shit too. I went there. Let's cut that out. Let's reel it back. Pump the brakes a little bit. But no, so we're going to go in and watch James Gunn's Volume 3 and his farewell to the Guardians Guardians series, and for a lot of these actors as well. They're saying bye to these characters. I think they've been playing for a long time. So yeah, that's going to be for next week. If you guys want to tune in for that, watch the Guardians.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, watch Guardians. Yeah,
just come to us and listen to us talk about it.
Go right to the real source.
Yeah. Come listen to me complain about it, and Mark trying to find as many good things as he can about
it. So way.
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna come in very biased because of how I'm feeling about James Gunn these days.
Right.
But
so keep that in mind when you watch it.
Yeah,
keep that in mind. You know you're biased, so control it, man. Use your mental powers.
I just really want to shit on it.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it is. I'll try to be unbiased, and we'll see. But either way, that's what we're covering next week.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a big deal. I think there are a lot of fans for this, and yeah.
The MCU's Phase 5, whatever we're on, kind of had a bit of a rocky start with Ant-Man. So
we'll see if this, this might not have. What's it gonna have to do with anything else though? If all these characters are kind of going away.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're not going away though. Maybe they'll show up,
or they all get destroyed.
Yeah, they may not be. They may not come back as Guardians or whatever, or in their own movie, but they may show up.
Yeah, here or there
to help out. So
we'll see. I guess we'll all find out next week. Yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
I guess that's it, right?
That's it. That's it.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
And live here from not live, but from Geek Off The Street official studio.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in. As you can see. My name's Trent.
And I'm Mark.
And this has been
Geek Off The Street. I feel like we did not say that at the beginning. What the fuck?
Yeah.